Thank you very much for the record. This is the Nedbank Cup final press conference. It's a joint press conference. We've got a big lineup today. We still have other stakeholders that are going to come afterwards, but there are very key elements that need to be addressed earlier on, and we'll also get the opportunity to ask those questions. So just by way of introduction, introducing the colleagues who are here on stage, our bosses, starting on my immediate right will be the Deputy Provincial Commissioner responsible for policing in the KwaZulu-Natal province, and that's Major General Phumelele Makoba. And next to her will be Dr. Vusi Mazibugo, who is the Deputy City Manager here at eThekwini Municipality. Of course, my boss, Ms. Mato Madlala, the CEO of the Premier Soccer League. And next to him will be Bertie Grobbelaar, who is with Stadium Management South Africa, but today he has been roped in by the PSL to assist with certain things because of his experience with dealing with major events in South African football. Colleagues, just to give a bit of a background, yesterday at the stadium, Mabhida Stadium, there was a meeting which was chaired by the Provincial Commissioner of the South African Police Service together with the CEO of the PSL. Just a state of readiness meeting which addressed quite a few elements as we prepare for the final. And there will be a bit of summarized reports on what the plans are going forward. I'm going to first hand over to the CEO of the league just to give opening remarks, and then we will then move along with the rest of the panel that is here. Afterwards, we will take a few questions from the floor. Thank you, Madam CEO. Over to you.
Thank you, Fatu. Good afternoon to everyone who is here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on now.
Yeah. Good afternoon to everyone who is here. It's pleasing to see the numbers that are here. It gives me comfort that the message that we'll be sharing today with everyone is going to reach every soccer-loving person who will be at the game or not at the game, so that they understand what they can and what they cannot do, and what we can offer and not offer. In yesterday's meeting, somebody raised a comment to say there isn't a venue here in South Africa or anywhere else that will be big enough for the Soweto Derby. Doesn't matter where we take it, the demand is always so much more than what we can supply. So it becomes really a case of demand, supply, and what we can do. And from the Act says you plan according to your capacity. And this is what we are here to talk about. And also to address the ticketing issue that has been topical everywhere. And that's why we couldn't release any statement before today, because we had a meeting yesterday with the Provincial Commissioner. So we had to align to be on the same page before releasing the statement. Because on our own as the league, we cannot be able to run an event of this nature, and we never do because of the Act, the Sasria Act. So after yesterday's meeting, it took us about 4 hours to align, to address fake news and to address the real issues as well, where we believe as the league we will need assistance from the province and also from the Provincial Commissioner. And it was a very successful meeting, and that's why we're sitting here today as a joint venture to deliver this huge final that we'll be hosting on Saturday. Brought in Bertie, he has hosted at FNB using the same ticketing company to provide the service, to say, come in as an independent auditor, in inverted commas, to come and look at the system, to come and advise us in terms of what happened, because we want the truth. I don't want to listen to the service provider telling me what they think they should be telling me and telling me what they think will please me. I want the raw truth as is, so that when I engage with the counterparts in the province, we all understand the magnitude of the problem, and so that we come up with proper solutions. The last derby, that was FNB, the same ticketing provider was used. So fresh from last weekend, that was the reason why I chose Bertie to come and advise us on that capacity. He's not representing stadium management, he is representing me, because I said come and analyze this report and tell me exactly what has gone wrong and what is right or what we can fix, and that's why he's here today. So I will pause and ask Bertie to talk about the ticketing and what has happened and where we are as we speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam CEO. Yeah, I said yesterday when the CEO asked me to come through, she's dragging me into a lion's den to answer questions, and I want to reiterate, I'm not representing Open Tickets or Stadium Management. I'm not a representative of them. The PSL asked me to analyze the numbers, and then obviously specifically related to the ESSPC, the concerns is there not over issuing of tickets. That was a major concern to the CEO of the PSL as well as the chairman. And now, from the data I've obtained, I want to, and excuse me, I'm not going to try to be, or try not to be long-winded, but to give you the relevant information. The capacity of the stadium that's been approved by the ESSPC is 49,307 seats. It's a reduced capacity. There's been, and the stadium manager will allude to that, there's a proper grading certificate and proper compliance with the SASHA Act, and that is the capacity and the number of tickets that were issued. The breakdown of these tickets are as follows. Hospitality tickets, 5,307. Complimentary tickets to the sponsors, to the clubs and other contractual obligations, 3,000. And that leaves us with 41,000 general access tickets that went on sale. Now, according to the information we could gather, and I would like to say this is a preliminary report that was provided to the PSL. The final report will still serve before the PSL, and I'm sure before the Board of Governors, and then there will be a decision taken. But the minute the tickets opened, it was sold out within 90 minutes. That caused a delay, a glitch, a crash, call it whatever you want to. It's not applicable and it's not relevant to our discussions now. The fact is that tickets went on sale and the system allowed more people to make payments than there's capacity for. Now that immediately raises the concern, and a lot of, as the CEO alluded to, false information went out, that people were issued with tickets. That's not the case. Open tickets with their appointed, they've got a service level agreement with a CompuTicket as a distribution agent. They stopped the platform from issuing tickets, physical tickets, but the transactions still went through. Now what did that entail? At the retail outlets, the ShopRite Checkers outlets, 4,956 tickets were sold and issued across the country. I will deal with the breakdown of it now. On the Open Ticket website, the digital tickets, 2,435. The CompuTicket website, 44,121. So that immediately tells you that there's an issue over issuing of tickets. They stopped the issuing, as I already alluded to, and I just want to get to the breakdown, if you allow me. Of Of the outlet sales, as I said, CompuTicket Shoprite, 33.55% of the uptake went to KwaZulu-Natal. 35.24 went to Gauteng, and Umhlanga 8.51. I'm not going to deal with the rest. The open ticket and CompuTicket online sales combined, KwaZulu-Natal 39.56, Gauteng 32.73, and Mpumalanga 12%. Please refer to the actual, this number only refers to the actual tickets that was issued. So, of the issuing of tickets, there were 19,361 tickets that still had to be allocated to successful purchasers. Of that, we determined yesterday 34.2% went to KwaZulu-Natal. So let me try and explain it as easy as I can. To get to the planned capacity, they had to allocate from this over-issuing of the tickets, 19,561 tickets had to be allocated to people that paid but did not get their tickets. 10,510 people, or not people, tickets, were paid for but were over capacity, and those people had to be refunded. So during the course of yesterday, and I can confirm that I've got a certificate from the ticketing agent, all people to the capacity of the stadium received their tickets, whether it's hard copy thermal tickets or digital via the different platforms. So the message should go out. There were no more tickets issued than the capacity allows for. That is the most important message, and that was why General Mabhida personally was in the meeting yesterday to confirm that as well. Of the people that paid but cannot be allocated tickets because it's over capacity, 80% as we speak here, everyone that bought online were refunded. 80% of those people that bought with a credit card were refunded. The other 20% is people that paid via EFT or other form of payment platforms. They all received messages, and upon the receipt of their banking details, they will be refunded via EFT. That's an undertaking from both CompuTicket and Open Tickets. So in essence, from an event safety perspective for tomorrow, and I'm not here.
Right. Thank you very much, and greetings to the CEO and all the colleagues in the meeting. As I've been introduced, my responsibility as the Deputy Provincial Commissioner responsible for policing. My other duty is to make sure that all the events that take place in the province go well. We, as SAPS, in the province, we were informed on time of this event that is to take place on Saturday, the derby. And during the initial engagements, when we got to know about it, we had reservations about us hosting it because of different issues that might compromise the safety of the spectators. And we know that we can host it because we have done so in numerous times, or rather in countless times. However, because of those issues or those reservations that we had to engage the relevant people, the owners of the stadium and the organizers, and they allayed fears. One of the fears was in respect of the safety of the stadium, considering that it is under construction, and we know Soweto Derby and the numbers that we can expect for such events. So we have had meetings, we've received necessary applications in terms of the law, SASRIA, and after that we appointed the relevant officers to run the planning processes, which in terms of the law again, we have to convene the EWSPC meetings. And even during the EWSPC meetings, certain loopholes were identified, but those were brought to the attention of the organizers. And the organizers again managed to allay fears and resolve the issues. We have since received necessary certificates that are supposed to be part of the file that can then take us through, make sure that we comply with the Act, including the grading certificates and everything. We are comfortable at this stage that we, as the law enforcement, we are going to police this event successfully. After the meeting that was held yesterday, we heard about it. That meeting was prompted by, again, what was going on social media regarding the cells, regarding the possible overcrowding and so forth, but that has since been resolved, as you have heard. So we are now finalizing our operational plan that we are going to be executing on Saturday as the law enforcement. And mind you, the law enforcement includes everyone that you can think of that is relevant for the plan or for the operation to be successful. That talks to the traffic control, that talks to the medicals, it talks to disaster management and so forth and so on. What I want to emphasize is the issue of tickets have already been alluded to, is that as SAPS will be very strict on the ground, will be on the ground, and we don't want anyone that doesn't. If you know that you don't have tickets to watch the match or to be at the stadium, rather stay away or go somewhere where else where you can watch the match instead of coming to the stadium to cause unnecessary conflict. Because as law enforcement, we don't want to be in conflict with football lovers. We just want to make sure that everyone is safe. We are in an operational mode. As we speak, the meeting is taking place, the EWSPC meeting, touching up on the loose ends of the plan, trying to finalize the plan with commitments of all stakeholders that are applicable and relevant to the plan. As subs, we've witnessed previously in other events where we see people that are coming in again with no tickets and others trying to hijack the processes or hijack the sales when this event is actually sponsored. They hijack the sales without going through the processes of being authorized to do so. We will be there also to deal with such. I'm asked to do a brief briefing. Last but not least, if anyone wants to fly a drone, there are processes again that needs to be followed. You have to apply to fly a drone on the day through EWSPC.
I will address just quickly 4 issues. 1 is the structural compliance. 2 is the pitch. 3 is the PVAs. And 4 is the park and ride. We have hosted the Nedbank Cup final in the past 6 years as Moses Mabhida. And we're excited that Nedbank and the league have chosen this destination for this derby. It is our second derby final to host at the stadium. On the basis of what we've hosted before, we've started planning, and planning continues, and execution is on Saturday for the derby. To confirm that the stadium complies with the Sasria Act in terms of the requirements as confirmed by South African Police Services, and yesterday we had to submit every piece of certificate required for compliance. I'm saying this at the back of understanding that we took you through at some point on a media day for the rehabilitation of that stadium, and we confirmed at the time that while we were doing the maintenance and rehabilitation, we will not closed the stadium for events. Since then, we've continued to have big and small events, and we continued to comply with what we need to comply with in terms of the requirements of the law. Given the demand of the spectators, when the final was announced to be a derby, we knew that there was going to be a high demand for this match. So, as part of the planning, we did confirm with our mayor at an EXCO meeting yesterday that the city is going to provide 2 PVAs to allow people that want to watch the match with others, because it's always nicer to watch with others. Those 2 PVAs, one is at the beachfront and the other is at Albert Park. Let me just comment on the mayor's message on the Albert Park. Albert Park has been notorious, as you know, as an area that people did not feel safe. So the city has taken a program to clean Albert Park from everything that you can think of, the park, the precinct of Albert Park, as well as cleaning it out of the drugs. So there is an effort from the city to reclaim that space, and therefore it is strategic for us to have it so that it's clear that it belongs to the city and people of the city. And that those were the words of the mayor at an EXCO meeting yesterday. So those would be the 2 PVAs, and we are then saying to the public, those who don't have tickets, don't come closer to the stadium precinct. There are alternatives that have been provided by the city. The pitch, we are getting a program after the Betway Premiership match yesterday to prepare for the final. Our pitch has not been at the standard that we are known for, and what we have turned it around, and the rehabilitation program post-match started last evening, and we can promise the 2 teams that they will play in a pitch that they will be proud of. Then lastly, the city has provided a park and ride service. But this park and ride service, as you heard, that there are more than 5,000 hospitality or suite allocated seats, and the stadium doesn't have the capacity, parking capacity for everyone that is going to those suites to have parking within the precinct. So an additional park and ride parking has been provided, but it is specific to those who have hospitality packages.
Okay. When we went on sale on Monday, 10 o'clock, 15, 20, 30 minutes later, the surge, as AG has indicated, was unprecedented. The server crashed, and we had challenges at that time because of the numbers, everyone trying to access the system at the same time. So we were aware from Monday, and as I explained, that we were aware from Monday, we started looking for solutions. And one of the reasons that caused the over-subscription was when they couldn't access the service provider's website. Then we looked for the solution to see how else can people, rather than queuing, because there was a queue of about 3,000 or more. So we said, what other alternate solution can we provide? Then we spoke to CompuTicket. When I say we, I'm meaning now the service provider, because we're all together in this. So we spoke to CompuTicket to say, can you let us use your server so that people can go in there? So at that point, when we were using the service provider and also the CompuTicket server, they were not talking. So it was stress, it was pressure at that time. So the update wasn't happening live, and that is what caused the result of this oversubscription. Because while it was just one, it updates as you are accepted. But we had to improvise now and bring a second one. And that's why they are not issued immediately. We didn't issue immediately because we had to reconcile after that. After we closed both servers to say what were the numbers. And that's how we picked up the numbers, that the numbers were there. But the league was away. And having been away, and the next question is, why now are you only talking to us and talking to the public? There is protocol. After the analysis, and that's why I'm saying I can't publish any audited financials without an independent auditor to say tick, tick, yes, you are right. Anything else that I had was a report from the service provider. And I wanted that report to be interrogated, to be analyzed. And therefore, my independent auditor, who is sitting next to me, to say, go in, you've just done this derby, look at this report, does it sound correct? And we looked at that report, and after that, then the provincial commissioner wanted a meeting. And from respect, we said, I'm not going to issue any statement until we have a consolidated meeting with the commissioner, because this can't happen without the province and the commissioner allowing it to go on with everything else that was being said. So in social media, all over, fake and correct news were being flaunted around. So we had to have a meeting that we had yesterday. It took us about 4 hours to go through the process. And that's why we're sitting here today jointly to say it's all under control. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My question is, with regard to the service provider, has the issue been resolved? Because we just got 2 days away.
Questions directed to?
Yeah, I'll do it at the end.
Okay.
With the service provider, we got 2 days, I think, left now for the final. Has the issue been resolved when it comes to ticketing? If someone wants to go and buy the ticket now? Because I said just 2 days left, and then where are we right now? To you, CEO, and also Bertie.
You were not listening.
If I can deal with that quickly, and we need to differentiate between ticket distribution and ticket purchase and the operational execution. There was a detailed meeting this morning again on operational execution, and part of the reason why we use this service providers at the venue we manage is that there's a double scanning principle applicable there. You scan your ticket twice, and we got rid of the so-called till slip tickets. So the operational execution, we need to focus on that as well. And that is the generals and the authorized member, they scrutinized that plan this morning. And I'm very confident, having gone through the derby on Saturday, where we had 89,000 people, 50 fake tickets, all that we found. So that portion, box tick, let's hope it's on like that on Saturday as well. Your question if the problem is resolved with the platform, there's no more tickets on sale. So you can't buy. The problem that we had to resolve is getting tickets issued to those people up to 41,000 that bought tickets, and that has been resolved. The next thing is people that paid but can't get a ticket, they need to be refunded. And I can't sit here and say it's 100% there. I'm saying to you it's 80% there, and a report will be provided to the PSL once everyone has been refunded.
My question is directed to Mr. Bertie and the CEO. Just with regards to capacity, obviously we've seen the boom in the ticket sales. Was there, and it's difficult to sort of anticipate something like this, especially since it's a cup game and it's a cup final. But was there any point at which there was a thought that crossed your mind to say, okay, let's move the final from Moses Mabhida to perhaps a FNB Stadium, due to the fact that the capacity is quite larger than the Moses Mabhida Stadium, then allowing for more sales in tickets? Thank you.
As I said when I started, I said there is no venue in this country that's big enough for the derby. And what the Act says, the SASRIA Act that governs all the events that are hosted, it says you plan to capacity. irrespective of what capacity is. As long as your plan addresses the capacity issue and the safety issue based on that capacity, that's all it takes. And that's exactly what we've done. We've planned to capacity, and we've been given a tick that we've addressed all of that, because there isn't a venue. Whether F&B, Bertie will tell you, the subscription is far more than what the venue can hold. So there is no venue that can take that. Thank you.
Let's go to Smith also.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is directed to the Major General, the SAPS. Given the province's history with large groups, and we all know what happened with the whole situation with the looting, this is a 1 in years kind of scenario that we find ourselves in, and the reality is on the ground there are people that are maybe suggesting that they will be heading towards Mabhida Stadium even without tickets in hand. So I think that is something that directly deals with the SAPS in coordination with the security services. So my question is, what is the SAPS needing to make a special plan for this particular event? Because it's just not another soccer match that you're going to be practicing on or working on.
Yeah, you may go ahead.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you very much, Smiso. Yes, indeed, when we deploy our intelligence, as well as when we look at history of what happened in the province in the past, and looking at the type of event that we're about to host, we look at all angles, including the one that you're talking about. We have plans in place to deal with. There are going to be areas that will be considered sterile, meaning that we are going to block roads and access to the stadium at a certain point, but that will be dealt with in another briefing or in another statement. So to answer you directly, yes, we have plans in place and we have thought of exactly what you are talking about. Thank you.
Yeah, because we're all about making sure that as many black entrepreneurs are empowered through such a humongous event. Do you feel like you've done all the checks and balances to make sure that entrepreneurs and local SMEs are empowered through this event? Because I've seen even on social media that there's huge complaints about the empowerment of black SMEs and entrepreneurs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think the first thing that we need to dismiss is the notion that there was a deliberate attempt to block people from KwaZulu-Natal to buy tickets. Because there is a narrative, particularly in the social media, that suggests that. Even those that the Deputy Commissioner is talking about, the things that they are dealing with, comes from that. It's a very dangerous narrative, particularly for business in this province and this city in particular. No single event would assist entrepreneurs and small business to sustain themselves. It is the continuation of events back to back that will best assist the entrepreneurs and business. So if you are going to only look at a single event, because that event will come and go, it is for that reason that it is our city strategy to have continuous event. Last week, we hosted at Mabhida at Durban Fest with an international artist. The other previous weeks we had other events, and in other sites of the city, including ICC, we had events. It is that strategy that assists the entrepreneurs as opposed to a single event, because the reality of it is that this event, this derby, is big for Durban. Our hotels are full. All other small businesses are benefiting out of it. And through Durban Tourism, we're going to be issuing a report of the economic impact, which I think if you follow news from this morning, there were already indications from some publications of what those are, but we will give the correct numbers of the impact. Yes, it is a deliberate strategy for us to host events in Durban on a continuous basis because we know that is where entrepreneurs will benefit.
Thank you. Greeting to leadership, Provincial Commissioner, and to you all colleagues. Our traffic management plan is ready. All intersections around the stadium precincts will be manned by traffic officers. Only 2 roads that will be blocked. That will be the Madlala between Somse Road and Smith-Okwanyanya. The traffic will be diverted to Smith-Okwanyanya. That traffic that is going to south direction, and the traffic that will be moving to north direction will be diverted to Somse to use the parking of Mastering Field and People's Park East via Sylvester Tuli. Umhlanga Road will be used as a public transport. 1 lane will be called for drop-off of the taxis to allow pedestrian traffic to move on Isaiah Ncikazi, as the Isaiah Ncikazi will be closed between Umhlanga and Madlala. The purpose of that is to give a space for pedestrian traffic to move. We got places for parking, which is Mount Batman Park Hall. That one is on Umhlanga Road, Mastering Field, as I've said, as well as People's Park East, as well as Durban Drive-In. There will be in all intersection traffic police officers to ensure that motorists are being assisted. Only what I wish to request to those who will be attending the game, please arrive early. We have noticed in the past that, especially the people who come in with a public transport, they come early, but they don't come early and enter to the stadium. That end up causing traffic or pedestrian traffic when the game is about to start. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Now, moving on to PRASA, Zippo, if you can just also just give us an overview of the plan for the weekend, the service that you'll be running.
Thank you. My name is Zippo and I'm from the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa. We are excited to be a partner to ensure that we transport fans to the game on Saturday. It is a highly anticipated game, as we've all heard, and we want to ensure that we ease congestion and traffic for fans to get to the stadium easily, safely, and in an affordable fashion. We'll be having services from all our corridors in the Durban area, starting from Guamashu. We'll have 2 trains that will be coming from there, one at 11:32 and again at 13:32, because we want to encourage fans to get to the stadium early, as been alluded just now, and get them there up to 2 hours before the match starts. And then we'll have trains that come from Bridge City as well, that will be 11:34 and 13:34. And then we'll have trains that come from Umhlanga as well, from 11:30 again at 12:30. And then we'll also have trains that come from the Cattle Ridge area, which is further out of Durban, and that will be at 11:30, as well as at Crossmore at 11:30, and from the Pinetown route as well at 11:45. As I've said, it's important for us to ensure that fans get to the stadium on time and safely, to also ease the congestion for traffic. But also we'll be running a shuttle service from Durban Station into Mabhida, which is a 3-minute trip. However, it just eases the congestion in around the stadium. So we encourage motorists especially to park at Durban Station we have a capacity of about 1,000 vehicles, and the cost will only be about 20 rand to park your car there and board the train from Durban Station into Moses Mabhida. We also have a park and ride facility Kwamnyandu in Umhlanga for people to park their vehicles there. We board the train from there, as well as what is the third area? Apologies. We also have, from Umhlanga Station as well for a park and ride facility there as well. So we strongly encourage for those that are coming out of town, our regular commuters, to park and ride and take the train. The train fares for all the trains will only be 20 rand a return trip, and there'll also be a service after the game to ensure that we move all the people and passengers that will be moving from the stadium. That service will also run from half an hour after the game, and that will also be flexible according to whether the match extends with extra time and so forth. But we'll ensure that we run services till the last passenger is moved. But from a safety point of view as well, we'll be, of course, using our new trains that I'm sure you all know. They've got onboard cameras, onboard security, as well as support from the SAPS that will ensure safety of all our commuters from those various points, as well as during the 100-meter walk between Moses Mabhida Station and getting into the stadium. So that will greatly, I think, support the fans to move with ease and avoid traffic congestion. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much once again, colleagues, and those that are joining us from home. Once more, for the record, this is the Nedbank Cup final press conference. Final takes place on Saturday at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. Gates will be opening at 1100, or if not 100 hours, 11 hours, so correct, 11 o'clock. There is a lot of entertainment that is going to be taking place there, so we encourage people to come in very early. The home site, of course, is Kaizer Chiefs, and today they are represented by Coach Cedric Kaze, and of course next to him we've got Coach Mandla Ncikazi from Orlando Pirates. They are away side for this fixture, but also the defending champions of the Nedbank Cup. Coach Kaze, maybe just to open it up, if you can just take us into the Kaizer Chiefs camp. How are things going, and what can we expect come Saturday?
Thank you very much, and thank you to everyone that is present. Looking at the numbers of journalists, we understand how important is the game on Saturday. The mood is very good. The mood is good. You know, it's a final that we haven't played for 6 years, and we know how important it is for the club, for the management, especially for the fans. We know what we need to do on Saturday, but we are very confident, and we know that we're gonna play the defending champion, but the final is a final, and we are preparing ourselves to give our best and to have a good performance.
Thank you, Coach. Let's move on to Coach Ncikazi. Just your thoughts as well heading into the match. I know you had a fixture last night. Congratulations on the win. But you've got a big one come Saturday.
Good afternoon.
Coach, if you can just switch on the mic there. That one. Thank you.
Good afternoon. it's a privilege again for our club to be involved in this competition. We know we're playing against a very good team, Kaizer Chiefs. The history of the two teams says they've played 23 times since the inception of this competition. We have won it 10 times, they've won 13 times. Currently, they've scored 14 goals. I think they are the top scorers, only conceded 2. So it's not going to be an easy match. But as usual, we will play this match to try and win and give it our best shot and create history by being the first club in the PSL era to win it 3 times consecutively.
Hey, you've done your homework, coach. As always, let's take questions from the floor, or just by show of hands. I've identified my brother there from Sokala Duma.
Afternoon, Coach. This is Director Mandla, Coach Mandla. The last 4 cup finals that have taken place here in Durban have seen Orlando Pirates obviously come out on the winning side. What makes the city, and in particular was Mabhida, such a happy stomping ground for the Buccaneers?
I would love it to be a happy hunting ground. Sorry. I would love it to be a happy hunting ground, but the history says the last time the two teams competed in a cup final was 2014, 20 September. Kaizer Chiefs won the game. MTN, sorry to mention the different sponsors, but they were the last winners in Mabhida. I honestly don't think we have any advantage currently because the history says previously they were the winners when we met in Mabhida. We'll give it our best shot, but there's no history that we will rely on to try and win this match.
Smith Samson, independent media. My question is for Coach Kaze. Coach, your team comes into this final as the underdogs, just purely because you're playing the defending champions, as Coach Mandla has alluded to. But also, on top of that, Pirates has beaten Chiefs 5 times in a row now. What about your side you think gives you somewhat of a chance to be able to beat Pirates?
I'm very happy to come into this game as an underdog, we know what are our chances. We played them not long ago, and as well we feel that it's a privilege as well to play them 2 times in such a short period. But final is a final, and I am very happy that all the pressure from this final is on Orlando Pirates' shoulders. Thank you.
Coach Kaze, what will be your approach going to this game, and what is needed to be done by Kaizer Chiefs to overcome Orlando Pirates?
I think that it has to be a different approach. It has to be a different approach. It's like a knockout game, but as well there is a trophy at the end of the 90 minutes plus extra times or penalties. It's simple. It's simple. You have to be efficient in the 2 different boxes, in your own boxes by defending wall, and in your opponent box by scoring. It's true that those kind of games, when it's a final, it has a kind of pressure that sometimes takes some flavor out of like a beautiful game because nobody wants to lose. But as I said, it's very simple. We need to be efficient in both boxes, defend well, and score when you have the opportunity to score.
Please allow me to make a small correction. We're not favorites. Being a favorite is very subjective. It depends on how you want to look at it. One, Chiefs were the last winners in a cup final that we played between both teams. Secondly, Chiefs are a well-rested team. If you look at how many games we have played 48 games, they have played 34 games. So we are 14 games more than what they've played, so they are a well-rested team. Coming into this week, we were playing yesterday. Chiefs had a whole week of preparation, so we don't want to fall into the fallacy of thinking we are favorites. We are not, but Kaizer Chiefs are. Coming into your question, Mkabate, Coach Ribeiro is a very unique individual. More than a coach, he goes further than that. Highly professional. Takes the job very seriously. He is neither too happy nor too disappointed. Where there's too much expectation, there's always a disappointment. So it's easier for the players, whether we lose or we win. His approach is the same, and I always think that it helps the young players to perform without fear. Whether the result is good or bad, he is still the same. So one is professional, he prepares well, he analyzes games, he doesn't rely on analysts. The new trend in our teams, he goes himself so that he can create his game plan. So the day in our preparation is long. It's the profile of the opponents, it's the planning, it's the execution, the training sessions, it's the individual sessions, and it's the post-match. So it's quite a long spectrum of him as a person allowing that to happen. And our club is a big institution where there's a lot of institutions and departments that must meet together, sports science, analysis, so that then the team performs and is at the end. So it's just a process that is led by him that has given what the club has achieved lately. Personally, in KZN, like any coach, it will always be good to win. And when you win in front of your own people.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. It's true that every team when starts the season has purpose of winning a title. It's true that we haven't won a title this season, and which means that the one that is coming in front of us is very important. Very important in what we are trying to build, and as well we know the history of Kaizer Chiefs. We know how many years all those millions of fans have waited to lift a trophy. It's true that that comes with kind of pressure, but we believe it's a positive pressure for us to be able to just to the last stairs or the last steps to make the history happen. Everyone is including the management, the technical staff, the players. Everyone knows how important is the game on Saturday, and everyone is working very hard to try to end this season in a very good way.
Okay, we're taking the last round of questions.
The good thing with this kind of games, you don't need extra motivation for the players, because everyone is very motivated. It's a final of the Nedbank. It's a derby that gives an extra motivation. Instead, you have a little bit you have to calm down a little bit the players to not be extra too motivated or too concentrated, because you need to keep a good balance for the player to get to be able to perform well. He needs to be mentally to play without fear, because if you are too motivated, then you on the other side you feel that if I lose everything or the world is gonna crash, things like that, then you play with so much fear. That's not what we want. You need to calm down the players. They know it's a final. The team hasn't played the final since 2019. They play around the Pirates. It's a derby. We played them 1 week ago. We lost the game. Can we go into that game and salvage our season? All those are motivations that the players have, and actually our job this week has been even to tamper down the motivation for players to be able to think clearly about the plan of the game.
Let's go to Sleti. Oh, sorry. Before we come to you, Coach Mandla.
One thing that assists our team to perform the way they are performing is that we try and analyze what happens inside the football field. We cut the frills of what happens outside the field. Hence we can play so many youngsters, because you just analyze profile opponents, you prepare for the next match, which is Kaizer Chiefs. You don't exaggerate the opponent, whether they are big or small. The league they play in, the lock position. So we just profile the opponent. So to the players, it's not about the coach leaving or not leaving. It's the opponent that you are playing next, which is Kaizer Chiefs, and you give the instructions, you prepare the training session just for the match. So we don't enter in that space where what happens outside the field affects what will happen inside the field, if I'm making any sense.
In terms of planning, how difficult would you say it is to plan against the team that you recently just faced? And also, how much change are you expecting from their game, and maybe just the approach of the team?
Correctly pointing out, it's always not easy to prepare for an opponent that you've just played, especially when the result went into your favor, because you are tempted to go with the same strategy, and I can guarantee you that their preparation will be different based on the outcome. And Chiefs have got a lot of players, some players that are coming from injury, which is a possibility that they might use them, like my fellow coach has indicated. They might be tempted to change the strategy. It assists you to, one, you can preempt that this could be the possibility. But what becomes important is to focus on your own game, on your own strengths, that you're going to try and impose on the opponents. It's a cup final, like the coach has mentioned. There's no history that is important. It's whether you win it or you lose it.